Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and today I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about why worrying about your testosterone probably a waste of time. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so. And if you will be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you. Now when I say this will upset a lot of people, and I know there's a lot of people who market this and gimmick it and test boosters and optimizing it. But the reality is, for most people, you don't need to worry about this. And the reason I say that, almost everything other than aging or previous anabolic use or a few rare diseases, okay, those are the only three things outside of just your health and fitness that are going to affect testosterone. And guess what? If you have any of those three things going on, your only solution is to literally either go to the doctor and get a prescription for testosterone or go find the biggest guy in the gym and talk him into selling you a few bottles. Like that's kind of your only options there, okay? Because you're dealing with specific medical issues or you just aged outside of your ability to produce the same levels you had when younger. And there's not much you can do about that. Now people say, but there's other things. You said lifestyle, so shouldn't we be worried about that? It's like, yeah, okay, we could make a case for that, but you don't need to know about testosterone. In other words, for all the other stuff, a low testosterone is just a side effect of having a bad lifestyle. Does that make sense? And the benefits of fixing the lifestyle go so far beyond the testosterone that it's minor in the grand scheme of things. Okay? In other words, it's the other stuff will outweigh the testosterone, all the other benefits, to where it becomes, again, almost irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Your testosterone will improve just by being healthier. But being healthier is the actual benefit. It's a minor side bonus. And again, it's very minor in comparison. So what are the big ones? Well, the obvious one, obesity. This has been found repeatedly. In fact, there was a new study I just saw that came out when they studied this, and they found that obese men who lost weight, their testosterone all went up significantly. Like morbidly obese men who diet and exercise and lost the weight, their testosterone levels like doubled just from losing the body fat. Okay, when you look at the things that researchers point out, they have said, yes, we've seen a decline in testosterone in the West. They've looked at all the variables. They found a number, and they're not saying it's the only variable, but do you know what the single largest one they found is? Right? Now, we know environmental toxins and all that are significant, but they're way down the list still compared to obesity. The biggest driver of lower testosterone in the West is our obesity crisis. Okay. But, let's step back and think about that for a minute. What else does it cause? Heart attacks, cancer, diabetes. I'm going to say having optimal testosterone is probably less important than not dying of cancer, right? In other words, if you die of cancer, your dick doesn't work anyways. Okay. Let me state that again for those who are not understanding that. If you die of cancer, your dick stops working. Oh, crap. If you die of a heart attack, it stops working. Your sex drive goes away if both of those happen also. So in case you were unaware, right? So being dead affects that stuff way more than the low testosterone does. Okay, people are like, well, what about energy and stuff? Yeah, being obese, you don't think that affects your energy? Come on, guys. So you see where we're going with this, of why this is silly? Obesity, which destroys our energy, destroys our mood, kills us through multiple diseases. Again, one of the biggest drivers of all three of the biggest killers, obesity. So what happens if we just lose weight? Well, all these things get corrected. It cuts our chances dramatically of dying of cancer, having diabetes, heart attacks, stroke. All this stuff goes way down. Okay? Incidentally, you might even be more attractive. Therefore, make better use of that testosterone. You know, the testosterone going up is a nice bonus. Okay, but it's at the end of the day just not being fat. All right, what else? How about lifting weights and exercising? You see where we're about to go with this? We fall all the way back over. Yeah, that stuff helps too. Lifting weights boosts testosterone a little bit. But is that the real benefit? How about gaining muscle? How about staving off all these other conditions? How about being fit? How about having bone density? How about looking good? How about being strong and competent and being harder to kill? You don't think that's all way more important? I think it is. Than whatever a minor 0.5% increase in testosterone. All right. What other stuff? Not getting enough sleep or sunlight. Those can lower testosterone. Well, yeah, the healthy lifestyle, we're doing these things, right? But sleep deprivation, if you're not getting enough sleep, you're only sleeping 5 hours a night instead of 8. I think that the testosterone is the least of the concerns. How about the fact that you're going to have impaired memory? How about you're going to have impaired reflexes? You're more likely to have accidents at work, in your car. You're going to make less money. You're going to be less you're going to have all these problems. That's a bigger deal. So fix your sleep, get some sunlight. How about the next big one? That was alcohol. Alcohol crushes testosterone. Oh. But that's, again, on the far, far smaller end of it. How about the fact that you won't kill somebody driving drunk? You want to see the stats on that? It's insanely high. You're less likely to get involved in violent altercations. You're not going to get cancer from it or liver sclerosis. Again, people seem to be in denial that 1 drink a month is enough to increase cancer. This has been documented. It's a level 4 carcinogen. In addition to all these other health problems, destroys your mood, poisons your body, and it happens to lower testosterone. So again, do we understand where we're going with all this? People over here worried about testosterone when it's like, well, anything that you can think of that works, because test boosters don't work, that's a scam. It's a complete scam. So short of injecting it directly, everything that helps boost it is stuff that is healthy, just living a healthy lifestyle. Not being fat, lifting weights, doing cardio, eating a balanced, healthy diet, getting enough sleep, getting sunlight, avoiding alcohol, avoiding recreational drugs. Right? This is the stuff that boosts testosterone and optimizes it. That's called just living a healthy lifestyle. You don't need to market this as a separate testosterone boost. How about you just be healthy for all the benefits of being healthy and fit and not dying of cancer?